Oh, that should.
That shit is hard.
Hey everybody, welcome
Hello.
to Castle Talk, and I'm Queen Lolo.
And I am Diva. I am super excited. We've been planning this for quite some time, and it feels so good to finally be getting started.
What? It feels like it took forever,
Girl.
but we're here, and let's get straight to it.
So I think we should start off with basically saying the purpose of our podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's more so about people relating to us, because obviously you look at you look at me, you think, oh, they have it all together, and you don't really understand the trials and tribulations and things that we've gone through to get to this point, and the things that we still struggle with today. And I feel like that's important, for people to see this day and age.
I definitely agree. I feel like, my biggest mission as a host is to make sure that I'm being direct and I'm being honest and giving my viewpoint.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I feel like people pick me and I want it to be authentic. So if you do pick me, you're picking me for the genuine me.
Okay.
Not because I'm saying something that you like. So for our podcast, I just want to be real, uncut, and us. Just
Okay.
be free.
Let's talk about the name. Our name is Castle Talks, and we were talking about how, it's always trendy, it's always catchy for you to be bashing people and people to hop online to see what negative things are being discussed, but we want to uplift people. It's not so much about tearing each other down to get views and things of that nature. So castle, what's related to a castle?
Royalty.
A queen.
Exactly.
Hello.
Queens.
So we're queens and we're representing for queens. We want to have queen-like behavior. So.
And we're representing for those kings too now. We have to shout out the good men, because I feel like we spend a lot of time talking about bad men and the perception instead of giving out, positive energy.
Yeah, but in the same breath, not to be the Debbie Downer. Oh, that sounds horrible right there. But no, seriously, because we are speaking our truth and being our authentic self, it's not going to always be positive. So
Exactly.
do understand that. Like, it's not going to always be positive. But
I think that the way that you approach it makes it positive, because it could be a negative or a bad situation.
Okay.
And the way that you have the outlook for it, it makes it positive. Like, I could have gotten in a car accident, and I was like, well, at least I'm not dead. So I feel like,
True.
Even though it
half
can
full.
be, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you learn from every experience anyway. So
Exactly.
nothing's like wasted time. Everyone feels like they waste time with this person or whatever experience, but it's a lesson learned no matter what.
Exactly.
So, you want to hop into our first segment?
Real reality.
Real reality. Okay, so let's jump into real reality.
Let's talk about some real
Yes, so you want to kick it off with the real news?
Yeah, real news. We're going to first give you something that's happening every day. I know you probably see it on social media. Something happened a little while ago. A young man, he was 10 years old, and he killed his mom over a VR headset. And it just brought me into something that happened in in Maryland, 2 or 3 days ago, where a daughter and her mother killed the grandmother with a chainsaw.
That is crazy.
And they were hiding her remains. I just feel like mental health is very serious, and we should, especially as a black community, because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw exactly the people, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a little different.
Yeah.
But we definitely need to take more in consideration when it comes to our mental health.
So that makes me think about, I think about the Dahmer situation, right? I instantly thought about that. Of course, they're not eating the lady, but still, I know it's important for them to tell real stories. It's important to get, stories out, but it does make me feel like when that story resurfaced, when I think it was Hulu that brought it to surface, I feel like, does that inspire other people to have these crazy ideas and go out and do that? I understand the importance of telling the story of what happened, but is that necessary? Because is it going to inspire more people to act on outrageous, acts like that? That's crazy.
I do believe so. I believe like the more that you know, the more you're influenced.
Yeah.
So it's just like the same thing with, social media. The more we know, the more we're influenced.
So what was the motive behind them killing her? Because I wasn't familiar with the story until you told me.
They actually killed her. I don't remember because we didn't watch the whole thing. So
Either way it goes, though, like
they're gonna cut that part out.
either way it goes, I mean, whether they had a motive behind it or not, nothing will justify them killing their,
Sick.
Okay, and that also brings another question to like, okay, so obviously the mom killed her mom and she had her daughter help dismember her body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, loyalty, that's your name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, in a situation like that where your mom or just someone that you trust dearly is asking you, even though you know it's wrong. So like the girl is going to jail, but I'm saying the girl is going to jail. What's it called when you don't report someone doing something accessory? I couldn't think of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to prison because she pretty much did what her mom asked her to do. So when is it okay to just be like, okay, I love this person, I'm loyal to them? When is it okay to still act on this, that, and the third, and I'm not gonna tell, this is just our thing? And I know this is kind of like bizarre asking this because of the given circumstances. Someone was murdered. This is dark. But I'm just saying, how far does loyalty go? Because the granddaughter might not have ever thought, I'm going to kill my grandmother one day. She never probably had those thoughts. But because her mom asked, and I don't know the full story, but just given what I know, because her mom asked, she decided to help her with it. So it's like, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Mom, you're on your own. Okay?
Right.
I love my grandma. My grandma raised me.
Mm-hmm.
So all shout outs to grandma. No, I'm not helping you kill somebody. I mean, loyalty is, of course, morale.
Right.
If you're loyal, you're loyal. It's in you, you're not. But I don't think that has anything to do with loyalty. I feel like that's right or wrong. Like, come on. Like, no.
And then it makes me feel like the mom hated her mom so much that she allowed her daughter to be in on this. And that means she didn't have her best interest at heart. So it's like, how do you even... I don't know. That's a crazy dark situation. And then going back to the little boy. You killed your mom over virtual reality?
Time out. He asked the judge if he could bond out with the money that was in his piggy bank. Then he turned around and asked his grandma if the VR headset had made it to the house yet.
So to me, it sounds like the little boy is obviously detached emotionally. He lacks emotional intelligence. Because for one, him asking, like, it does show a bit of, like, his youth and his innocence. Like, for him to ask the judge if he could bond out with his piggy bank money. Either he's slow, stupid, or...
No.
Okay.
No, not the little boy. I feel like he just doesn't have a good morale for right or wrong.
Alright.
Like, I'm noticing, like, raising my little boys,
or
raising children at all, you teach them the things that you want them to know. You know what I'm saying? Not saying mommy wasn't teaching him how to have feelings or how to work with or be acceptable to other people, or have feelings for other people. But sometimes mentally, he's emotionally imbalanced. Those things don't click, and it just wasn't going together. I did read that his sister had been saying that he was already showing signs of being, disturbing.
Is this an older sister or a younger sister?
So he was already giving signs of being, mentally off, and the mother knew that as well. Everybody knew, but for him to take those actions, it was just, really, it was really far. And I also feel like a lot of people have a discussion like, oh, well, he's a kid. He doesn't need to go to prison. He needs to go to mental institution.
I honestly agree with that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because obviously you see, like, for example, the what was the name of the Central Park 5? Mm-hmm. Did you see the biopic about that?
Yeah, I saw it.
And it just goes to show, like, this is not... Well, I mean, you see that on a regular. That's not reforming someone. Mm-hmm. Like, you putting them in a box doesn't necessarily help them grow and to be a better person when they're released back to society. So at that young age, being charged as an adult in a crime like that, I don't agree with it, because for one, he's not fully mentally developed.
Right.
Number two, you see that there's something wrong. So like throwing him in the slammer with grown men, that's obviously it's obviously gonna take advantage of him. It's gonna make him worse off. And so I feel like if he gets the proper help he needs, he can be a better citizen to society.
Right, that's true.
It's sad.
But again, so we rolling off with the realness. I'm gonna let you go into the celebrity news.
Celebrity news. We all were saddened to find out Jackie O passed away. And honestly, when I saw it, I was hoping, and I honestly felt like it was just a rumor. But who plays like that?
Right.
So when I saw it, I didn't want to believe it. And I know her in DC, they have 3 young, small children. I think their youngest child is only 10 months.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just, I saw how she interacted with her kids, Beautiful. She was very hands-on with them.
She was a great mother.
And it's just really sad because they're super young. Of course, their oldest child, Nova, is old enough to understand what's going on. She understands I guess both their oldest and their second oldest, the middle child, they're probably both old enough to understand mommy's. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. But either way, it's just really sad because, for one, Nova's going to remember her mom.
Of course.
But the younger 2 may not. Yeah. And just imagine, like, you having to be him, basically, explaining, this is who mommy was. Like, that's heartbreaking.
It is. One thing I love about DC, though, is that he's God-fearing. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm very God-fearing. Yeah. It plays a big part of my life. So I do love the way that he, is handling things. Yeah. I can't see what he's doing behind closed doors, but I do love the way that the energy is with God. Even his post about her, it was very heartfelt. You felt the energy. It's sad because women, we have so many insecurities, and to think that you're going to feel as if you're going to get up from one, feeling better to go have surgery and get up and you're going to feel better about yourself and your life is going to go on, and to not wake up is just like, wow, that's probably like crazy. And
I don't have any insight on what their last conversation was. When I say they, I mean DC and Jackie O. But I saw when he finally spoke out about it, he said something about, and what our last conversation was. So I wonder, like, if she had fear of something of that happening. Yeah. And also I saw B. Simone made a post about how she could tell her relationship with God had evolved into something, like she was getting closer with God. Okay. And she said that as if like she knew that she was about to go on. And of course you never know, but I do understand, like, in situations when you start to elevate and you get closer to God, who knows what journey, I don't know where I'm going with this exactly.
I feel like the closeness to God.
But basically she was already close to God. But according to what B. Simone was saying, she was making it seem like, she could tell Jackie O's relationship with the Lord had gotten deeper. Okay. And she said it like, well, your relationship with God evolved as if you knew that you were going on. Of course, she did not know, but I think that is interesting that she was getting closer and closer to God right before this happened. It's just, I don't know. It's really sad. You can't take it back. It's not something that could be reversed, but you know what I'm about to say.
Tell me.
Girl, this really made me so mad when I saw Azalea Banks' response. Like,
she's sickening. I'm just gonna be honest. We're gonna put it out there. For you to take someone's death and make it about yourself, that is, you're a sociopath. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah. That goes back into lacking emotional intelligence.
Then the correlation on your birthday and how old she was and all that type of stuff over something that was genuinely supposed to be something funny. Like, you come on Wild 'N Out. Everybody gets talked about on Wild 'N Out.
Because I be in the audience scared that they gonna say something to me. Like, exactly. No, for real. Like, who doesn't know how,
It's a joke. You have to be able to have tough skin, especially in this gen. You can't just feel like everything is just gonna be all about you.
It's not personal.
Nice. You're not perfect. Everybody and anybody can find a flaw about someone, rather it be physical or their personality. So I don't know. The comments were very tasteful, and I feel as if she did need a reality check.
But to be honest, it's one of those things, like, even if DC, you know, not saying that he would or wouldn't do this, but even if he went up to this girl, spit in her face.
No.
No, of course he wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, even if it got to that point where he was that, like, that's where that hate spun from, you know? Even if it was that tragic, her reaction to this was distasteful.
Very, very.
Like, someone died. You tried to make it seem like, oh, well, that's his karma.
One thing that I didn't like she did either was try to put off the fact of her having insecurities and trying to blame it on DC. I believe even in our relationships, granted, you have a partner, can't say partners don't arise or make your insecurities that you have deeper by bringing that acknowledgement to them. But what you feel is genuinely for yourself. That's the same way if I said, hey, I want to go get my body done. It's for me.
Yeah.
That would be for me. It's not because I want to do it for him, or the media. It could possibly just be for her, because having 3 children, a mother of 3,
right,
it does do a lot to your body. So I don't take away her.
Girl, you look good, first of all.
Thank you. But I don't want to take away that from her, because it happens. But to put those insecurities off on, oh, maybe that's why she went and did that, is because you make her feel insecure. Oh, come on now. Let's just leave the boy alone and let them grieve in this time. But social media.
But I genuinely wonder, like, where's her team? Where's her, for one, her publicist? Number 2, her friends and her family. Who is holding her accountable? You know what I mean? Like, you have to have people, especially when you're a celebrity, you have to have people in your corner that are not yes men. You need someone that's going to tell you when you're right, tell you when you're wrong, because you're going to know there's a difference with, you know, boundaries. You cannot cross certain boundaries. And to her, she did not see anything wrong with that. I don't think she, I don't think she went back and deleted it. And I'm going to be real with you. And I know this is about being queenly and whatnot, but not to tear her down or anything like that. I do not know one Azalea Banks song. Not one.
No.
I don't know. And it could be one of those things like, oh, she sings that. Like, you know, when you hear something and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was her. It might be one of those situations. But off the top of my head, I cannot think of an Azalea Banks song. But when I hear her name, I think of all of the different negative interactions she's had with other people.
Yeah. I don't agree with her actions and the things that she, you know, portrays and puts out there, her energy. But when she first started off, I can say that I did follow her. I am a woman lover. I love women. All the women artists and models and stuff like that, I support, especially black women.
Yeah.
So I did listen to her music when she first started off.
Is it a song that I might know that you can think of?
I can't tell you the name right off. It was just a couple of them that I was looking on the internet. But she was very lively. Like, she had that Doechii. She had that Doechii feel. You know what Doechii is?
Yeah.
She has that Doechii feel when she first started off. So that's why she shoots shots at even her. Because, like, oh, you guys like her, but what about me? So she did have a really dope, you know, aesthetic in how she was coming. But, again, the media, I feel like it was, like she's saying, how she has her own insecurities. Because really, all she's doing is portraying her own insecurities off of other people. But I feel like the media, she wasn't pleasantly chosen by the media. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from?
I do.
Aesthetically, it's like certain people make it before others because of aesthetics.
Yeah, of course. That's so very true. Right. That's so very true. Yeah. Right. She might not have the look that,
but
you know, is marketable.
But she was definitely talented. When she first started off, she had that, dang, I wish I could pull up the song for you, but she did have a song that I used to like, and it was pretty dope. So, I can't take her artistry from her, but I will say that she's not tasteful at all. Either way,
it's like her negative stuff is overshadowing her. Her music career.
Most definitely.
So following celebrity news, you want to touch on fashion news?
Yes. I want to talk about Tiana Taylor at the QC party last night. She's so fine. Yes. You look good. I'm telling you.
That body though, like, I'm just like, she just like kids. Where?
I'm telling you.
Did you have a surrogate? But we saw her baby bump. It's crazy how her body looks so good.
I'm gonna need Erica Badu to. I needed her for my 3 kids because it just seems like
Erica Badu helped deliver her.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
doula.
Well, I do know
Yeah.
with her first child. Do you know the story behind
with
that?
her husband delivering the baby. That's dope.
That's scary. It wasn't planned.
I
Talking about
know.
that's dope,
That's
girl.
still cool.
What?
The trust there is just like okay, like
Well, she had no choice but to trust him, and I'm sure, like, if she had a choice, she would not, say okay. But that's just imagine it. That's a really beautiful story though, to know that their first child, not even a second child, but their first child was delivered that way. So if you guys don't know, basically, she went into labor, and her husband Iman actually had to be the one to deliver the baby. He was on the phone with 911, and they were literally walking him through the steps of delivering the baby. I know that's getting sidetracked as far as fashion, but that's a really dope story. I wouldn't say the experience was dope, but that's interesting. But yeah, she looked amazing. One thing I noticed, like, the men this year, they were coming with it.
Okay.
Yes. One thing I noticed was a lot of different blazers. They went all out with the blazers.
Okay.
I saw different rhinestones, embroidery, different prints like indented into the material. It was just really, really cool. And what was the guy's name? Let me see. I wrote his name down. There was this one stylist, guys. Now, I walked past this girl. I'm like, oh my God, I love your dress. It was so cute. I'm like, you're like the best dressed here. Just running it with her. And then I look and I see, I'm like, oh, you look good too. And it was another one. I'm like, and then the guy, he's like, thanks to me.
take that.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, I styled all 3 of them. I put them together. I got it. I'm like, okay, well, great. So his Instagram name is __ Tyge. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. __. So it's __ TYGEE __. Y'all check him out.
Shout out to
He
you.
did the thing. It was so cute. Like, they were so put together. I loved it.
They looked really nice. The dresses were really amazing too. JT looked amazing. Miguel looked amazing.
Ashanti looked good.
All the women and men were just out there, black excellence, and we love to see it.
Speaking of Ashanti, just real quick side note, I love the fact that her and Nelly have rekindled an old flame. I'm here for it.
It's cute. Does he have kids?
I don't know. I know at one point he was like raising his niece and his nephew, I believe. I don't know if he have any children of his own.
Right. So that's really cute because they both don't have any children. So it's kind of like a love.
I would be here for them to I would like to see that.
Yeah, that would be real cute.
But I think it's cute to see love when you spin the block and it works out.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Let's get into this topic though.
Yes, episode 1, first topic.
So we're going to be talking about social media and how it affects mental health and classism. We're going to talk about classism in Atlanta. That's going to be,
Okay.
one of our topics.
So, I know for me, when it comes to social media, directly after graduating college, I felt on hard times, y'all. Like, when I say hard times, I mean hard times. I was homeless for a few years.
Yeah.
Like, staying with people, like, it was bad.
Yes.
And I would get, on Instagram and I'll see, oh, this person's doing this, that person's doing that. And of course you ultimately just compare yourself to them.
Right.
But you don't really see, like, they're only posting exactly what you want them to see. You don't see their struggle. You don't see, the trials and tribulations that they're going through. And so you're comparing yourself to almost a false reality in a sense.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like social media for me is more so like, it's a reality check in a sense where I feel as if I am very talented and I have a lot of potential, but life happens.
Yeah.
We go through things and we can't blame that because there's people that, go through things and they still make it through.
Right.
But to just say, like, to look at it, I don't feel like, I don't know, more so to say when I see other people doing things, I'm genuinely happy. Like, oh, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
But I also get into myself like, oh, man, I could have done this. I could have done that if I would have stayed more consistent with this. I would have been more persistent with this. If I would have been more persistent with that. So sometimes it's just like drainage where I could just turn it off and just focus on me, not post and not even look at people's story, because at the end of the day, like you said, people post what they want you to see, not what they're actually going through. And the older I got, the more I just started to understand reality. You understand what I'm saying? It's all a facade. Everything's put there for you to believe what is being put in front of your face, like TV, the government, everything in the world. Social media does affect people, though, because I feel like some people don't have the understanding that people are only putting out what they want you to see.
Exactly.
Because then you see people that try to emulate it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to emulate something that doesn't
It's not
exist.
real. Right.
So social media is definitely a downer if you do not know how to, manifest and take from it and grow. And build.
Yeah. And I was telling Lolo recently, it was a moment where I just had to like sit back like, wow, okay. Basically during this time where I was going through my stuff where I'm like struggling, trying to figure life out, because it's nothing worse than graduating college. You got your degree, but shit, like, what's next?
That's me.
Girl. So, for me, I had a friend and I was pretty much like looking at everything she would post. I'm like, man, her life is together. She was with someone that she really loved. He seemed to love her. And I'm just like, wow, it looks like she has everything together. And we had a conversation. And she was telling me how she was looking at me like, well, you're the one with the college degree. You have all these connections and this, that, and the third. You're doing this, you're doing this. Basically, I was comparing myself to what I lacked, in that department that she had, and she was doing the exact same thing to me. And so when we had that conversation, it was like we both had that realization, like, wow, we're looking at this all wrong, because that was like a real epiphany moment. Like, I just felt like, damn, like, so wait, you're going through this too? Not necessarily the same stuff.
Right.
But she had her stuff that she was struggling with too, and you don't see that.
Exactly.
And so that, to me, it opened my eyes and it made me look at my circumstances a little different.
Yeah.
Because not everyone is graduating and taking over their father's company or whatever it might be. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, everyone has their own journey also. That's something that we need to understand. Your journey is completely different from mine. Unique's journey is completely different from mine. Now, we've been friends since, what, 9th grade? Was it 9th? No, 10th. 11th. This was Langston Hughes. 11th grade.
Yeah, I started with
Yeah, that was 11th grade.
Right.
We've been friends since 11th grade. And we've both gone totally different paths, but we still have similarities. Like, Unique's a mom of 3.
Exactly.
3 under 3. Let's be clear. 3 under 3. Her babies are so cute, though. I love it. And I always tell her, like, it's gonna be so cute because she keeps saying she doesn't have any intention of having any more kids whatsoever.
I'm not, girl.
Okay, well, she's not having any more kids.
I'm not having any more kids. So she says.
So, anyways, I always tell her it's kind of cool that you're going through the stages all at once. Like, they're going to have each other. They're all so close in age that they're growing together. You don't have to repeat. Like my parents,
Yeah, age gaps.
I think we were in the 11th grade when we found out. Like, my mom was freaking pregnant.
My mom was too at the same time as your mom.
Girl, that was so crazy. Like, it had always been me and my sister, and so like to see my mom and dad, like, wait, what?
What are y'all doing?
But I love my little brother Trevor.
He's so cute.
Girl, he has a little mustache now.
Yes, he has so much energy.
But I'm just saying that to say, like, we clearly took 2 different paths. But we still could relate to each other.
Exactly.
And of course, we're not at that point where like, oh, well, Unique has kids and I don't have kids, and I do want kids, but I have to have kids with the right person. That's so important to me. Yeah. Having
kids with the right person is very important.
Yeah.
So take your time, baby.
Yeah.
It is very important. Now.
Not baby.
Yeah, take your time, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Because I'm telling you, having 3 kids is amazing. But with the social media aspect, I feel like I think people get lost in it. People wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is check their Instagram before they brush their teeth.
I'm guilty. I am guilty of that. And I low-key don't even intend on stopping it. That's the bad part about it. Like, no, it's like it's a part of our culture now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's sad, but like being realistic and being transparent, it's the truth. But do I really plan on stopping that?
The thing about it for me, I used to be so heavily into social media because at one point, Twitter, popping, Facebook, all of that was very, known for who I was. So,
Right.
Now that I have children, though, I don't really have that much time. So it does stop me from being able to look at certain things.
Yeah.
Because one of my friends would be like, hey, did you see such and such said such and such?
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
what?
yeah.
Then I have to go look at it like, gosh, I'm getting old.
No, I swear. Like, my little sister, Kaylin always, oh my gosh, so her and Trevor together, I'd be like, damn, I am almost 30, but they make me feel like I am old as hell, because it's like with music and stuff like that, sometimes it's just like, okay, I heard that song, but who sings it?
Right.
But no, I feel where you're coming from, exactly where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Social media has a big influence. I feel like if you don't know how to separate reality from fiction, you will get lost. It gets crazy.
It's not worth comparing yourself to the next person. And going back to touching on, plastic surgery and things of that nature. Now, you are right. You are absolutely right. I wouldn't say most. A lot of people do it for themselves. Mm-hmm. But you do have a great amount of people that do it for other people. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Last night at the event, it was someone with a really huge butt. Her butt looked like it was rock solid too. Like, and I'm just like wondering, like, once you get off that table and you're post-op and you're healing and whatnot, are you satisfied with what you did to yourself? If you're satisfied, that's what it is. You got your money's worth. But if you're doing it to please a man or please whoever or try to be like the person that you saw on Instagram, is it worth it at the end of the day?
But that then ties into our subtopic of classism. So, for example, we live in one of the most popular cities, Atlanta. So with Atlanta, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Girl, what?
And it's not how you look, it's how good you look. You hear me?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times people go for the image that they feel like attracts other people. The designer down, little waist, big butt.
Okay,
Marys.
let's speak on that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God. Faking it till you make it. That's like Atlanta is one of those cities where, okay, I'm gonna just say this. I used to work at Saks Fifth Avenue, Fitz Plaza, right? And I used to work in the shoe department. And I remember one of my classmates, so I used to post, like, I'm trying to get clients to come in. I'll post on my social media, use that as a platform to broadcast. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to boost my sales. Let's get it. So a girl from high school, I don't know if y'all know her or whatever, but she reached out to me. She wanted some Balenciagas. Of course, Balenciaga was hot back then. This is the chunky granddad looking sneakers. To me, they look like those. Well, yeah, you have some cute. I love the all pink ones that you have. That's super cute. But some of them were not that cute to me.
Right.
And they look heavy. Some of them were heavy. But anyways, she wanted these Balenciaga sneakers because her birthday was coming up. I'm like, cool, girl, whatever. I'll set them to the side for you. Just let me know what day, what time you plan on coming in. Boom. She comes in. She gets them. I think she was having like a birthday party or whatnot. She wore them.
She brought
them back. But look, check it. This time she didn't ask for me, right? She just asked for the nearest person that she saw to just process her return. And as a sales associate, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but if somebody I don't know in all stores or companies, whatever, but at Saks, if they return it, you're hit with that return. I don't know if it's still like that, but yeah, it does affect your sales. So a lot of people are aware of that. So of course she's not going to come directly to me to return it. So she went to the next person. But anyways, the shoes were worn. Right. We cannot take worn merchandise. And so what I'm saying is she was living outside of her means for the moment. Maybe it was because she knew that she was going to return it. I don't know. But, like, why even go above and beyond to try to fit in with everyone around you if that's not where you're at right now? And don't get me wrong, there's no shade to not being at that point. But stop allowing this designer stuff to define you.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you don't have it. It's like, again, when we're speaking on classism, it's not what you know, it's who you know. For example, there are girls that have 108K followers, have a large following, and their pictures look great. Look awesome.
But they got an air mattress. What you want to say?
You know it. They got an air mattress. They stay with a friend. They got their cars 2008. Like, so I mean.
Wait, that's funny. Cause I like instantly thought of someone when you said that car situation.
So I'm just saying, and then you'll look at a girl like me and say, oh well, she not popping. She only got 27, 28.
I'm sorry.
Followers.
Okay, based off of your followers.
Right.
Okay, I was like, you are popping to me, girl.
Classism.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm looking at you like you're here, not knowing that you actually can be up here in just off of appearance. You know what I'm saying, or what it appears to be. I may have 2,800 followers, but 28 out of 2,800 of those followers, 100 of them are, you know, elite people. Mm-hmm. You may have 108K and only
bots.
5 of them.
Bots and trollers.
Right. They bots and trollers, or you bought them, or 5 elite people following you. It's not.
You're 5.
You're 5. So it's like people are just going off of what they see, and they're judging off of that, and they're determining if they want to mess with you or they want to deal with you in something that's big. Something that's big is basically like, you know, putting yourself out there to get more gain from people.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to go into our do's or don'ts, and she's going to say if she will or if she won't. So my first question is, would you date a guy that is not financially stable and drives, you know, a hoopty or older car?
For me, I would, and I have in the past. To be quite honest with you, like for example, the guy that I was dating previously, not recently, I don't want anyone trying to figure out who I'm talking about, but he had a car and it was paid for. And because it was paid for, he was able to do other things with that money that would have been going towards a note, you know? And so you can't really judge a book by its cover. And we live in Atlanta, of course. That's always, you know, people are always going to judge based off of what they see. They take things for surface value. They don't really understand the reason behind this, that, and the third. For example, I'm going to be honest. My mom and dad, when we first moved to Atlanta, I just thought about this. They had 2 cars, and they both were not like the best cars, but they both were paid for. People didn't know that they had a nice house because they were driving around that. And when they would have events and come to the house, it's like, oh, wow, okay. Because it's all about how you prioritize things. It's not about
hood rich in an apartment with a Maserati.
Yeah. And then when it comes to them being financially unstable, as long as they are working towards a goal, like you have to have goals. You can't just be unstable and don't know what you're going to do next. Try to figure it out. That's right. So we have a mild question. We have a tangy teriyaki. We have a tangy teriyaki, and we have a hot question. Which one do you want first?
I want the tangy question first.
The tangy teriyaki. Okay. So would you take a cheater back?
I have, so I can't say that I won't.
Okay.
Coming into this new season of my life, though,
whatever that means.
I don't know if I will where I am now mentally.
Okay.
But before I have, and I felt that it doesn't really change. So growing older is kind of like it's what you're willing to deal with. So
okay, well let me ask. This is not on my card or whatever, but to piggyback off of that. Do you feel like it could be that person wasn't willing to change, or do you feel like once a cheater, always a cheater?
I feel like I can't even generalize it on a person. I can just say that in this time era right now, monogamy is not something that's popular. It's so much temptation. It's so
social media.
Yep. There's so many people and women that don't care about what you have going on at home, married, baby mama living in it with you. They don't care. So I just feel as if to protect my peace, I'd rather just, preserve self.
Understood. I love that. Mild or hot?
Hot.
You want the hot?
I want the hot.
All right. Would you be okay with your man not being circumcised? That's the worst question on my list. It's the hot one. Okay. Why?
I don't want to pull back. I'm good. No, don't make that.
I'm just saying.
I'm so sorry for future watchers. I mean, listen, Do
you know what smegma is?
What?
I probably should. My mama gonna be like, what in the world?
What's that?
Smegma?
Wait.
I think it's called smegma.
Wait.
Google it. They gonna be smegma. Okay.
Wait, is it like when men don't clean it?
Yes.
Oh, and that's
it's like
exactly
a
why.
cheesy like consistency. That's what they say. I Googled it.
A lot of dudes don't even like white properly back there. So why would I?
That's nasty.
Yep.
To be a grown man, you not wiping properly.
Listen, people.
Girl. All right, well, you passed that part. That was the hardest question on the list.
So let me hear the mild.
So the mild. Okay. How do you feel about forgiving a person when they cross the line big time? Does the type of relationship you all have, like whether it be like a mom or a sister or a friend, does that play a role in that? And I mean big time. Like if they've done something that's like, whoa. Can you still forgive that person?
What is it, like my sister sleeping with my husband?
It could be anything. But I'm saying, if a person, in your mind, whatever that might be, crossing the line big time,
relationship again.
We'll never have the same relationship.
We'll never have the same relationship again. Forgiveness is always going to be given because I feel like God forgives. But if us being close like we was, probably will never happen again.
Gotcha.
Because you cross lines of you cross the lines of loyalty. I can't fuck with you like that no more. But definitely forgive you. You know what I'm saying? Deal with you from a long hand to stick, especially if you're somebody close like a sister or cousin. You're in my life because you don't necessarily have to be in my life. I got cousins and stuff I don't talk to, but you know what I mean? If we were so tight and so close, you just gotta learn how to distance yourself from people because that's messed up.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Okay, well that concludes our very first episode. How do you feel about today?
I feel good.
I do too. Like, to be honest, we both were really nervous. We didn't know how this was gonna go. We didn't know if we should practice. Just, you know, like, should it be natural? I'm glad that it went the way it went. I'm glad that I'm doing it with you.
Exactly.
This feels good. Yeah. So in closing, we always want to shout out a Black business. So this episode, we are shouting out Black Smoke. So with Black Smoke, what makes them so different? Of course, they are Black owned, obviously, but the hookah pens are tobacco free and nicotine free. So this is great for a person that is addicted to vaping, and you know, a lot of people in our generation, they're literally addicted to it. Like, they have that craving. And so this is something that'll help you like wean yourself off of that.
Yes.
And then, to be honest, it just tastes delicious.
It does.
I love it.
Shout out.
Yes. And listen, if you are listening, we are trying to order a hookah for our podcast, but the hookah is always sold out. So we would love to know when it will be available for order again, because we definitely want to do something that's healthy, you know?
Right.
So that's that.
And that concludes today for our episode.
Make sure you follow us. I can be followed at Diva24 on Instagram. That is DEEV as in Victor A24.
And follow me at Queen with 3 E's in period loyalty.
And we'll put the link to the podcast Instagram in our description.
And y'all have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Leave questions, give us any feedback, and also we want to hear about what topics you guys might want to hear from us. So, thank you.